we got some diamonds over here? Do we have some over here? Do we have some diamonds right there?
Like the groove's taking over you, make no mistake. You're in the place to be.
Wow.
Let's get crazy.
Wow, wow, wow. Are y'all ready for it? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Whoa. Boom, boom, boom. Freedom. Wow. You guys look absolutely phenomenal. Give yourselves a big round of applause. I told T. Gray and Mark, I said, y'all trying to take my position? Give it up, guys, for T. Gray and Mark Kithcart, guys. Give it up for them. Awesome job. You know, today is extremely special for all of us. Special for me, special for my wife. She's somewhere over there. Special for my family. Where's my dad and my mother? There's the family table over there. I got 2 dads over there, 2 mothers over there. Got pops over there. I got my mother-in-law. I've got Mama Jean over there, and I call him Ching Ching. All right, that's Edwin's parents, and we've been running like crazy for I don't know how many years. But I have to say, just hats off, first of all, to my wife for just giving the flexibility and being there standing by my side the entire time. And also the encouragement to step into what we have today. And always pushing and saying, hey, you should do this, you should do this. My son, he's around here somewhere. I know he's around. Where is he? There he is over there. Give it up for my son, Trey Buggs, everybody. He never did network marketing. I had to figure out a way to get him involved. So all these that video that you just saw produced, he and his team, they did that video. Phenomenal job. And there's been so many people all along the way. Where is Edwin? There he is. Edwin and Andrea Haynes there. That's my running buddy there. I don't know. I stopped counting the years, okay? I stopped counting the years that we've been running. But I do remember the times in the very beginning, whereas he'd ask me, did I have enough gas money one week, and next week I'd ask him, could you get gas money so we can drive down to Dallas, Texas? Because that's where the opportunity meeting was. We didn't have one in our city. And we never missed a meeting, and we kept running out of money, so we said, we got to build a big enough group in Houston so we can have our own meetings to go to. And we did it. And we're here. Peter Hirsch, where's Peter Hirsch? He's somewhere over there. My good friend Peter Hirsch and Karen Hirsch. You know, you heard T. Gray call him the hinge. And he's just that. He's that person who brings and connects things together and never look for the credit for 2 things being able to come together and meet. And I can tell you, he's made a major impact in my life it's been some years. It's been plenty of years. And it's the same thing. He's been the same consistent person now that he was when I first met him. He made a connection and he says, hey, listen, there's some guy you need to meet. And I'm like, who is this guy? He says, you need to meet David Manning. There's David. There's David and Terry right over there. And I never forget, some of you've heard the story when we had a chance to meet, and it was almost love at first sight. Terry, I was not going to take him from you, I promise, okay? But it was, and it's just been incredible to see, the vision that he had and the humility that he had to understand that, there were some things that I had, and there were some things that he had, and both of us needed those things. And I'm so grateful for him and for what he had done. And for 18 years, building and having two companies, it's hard to keep one running for 18 weeks. But to do it for 18 years, guys, give it up for CEO of Extreme Travel, David Manning. Boom. There's a lot of people that I can just really talk about, but I remember when this first started, and Ed and I we're always just having conversations about where the future is, and what the future is going to be like, and we always saw what was going on. And it wasn't good enough for us. It just wasn't good enough, and we wanted to be just different. And we had no idea, and there was no concept at all of starting a company. Never was. Now, he would always say, man, you need to do what you say. Man, listen, I am not doing anything that dumb, like owning a network marketing company. That's what I used to tell him. I'm not doing that. But we wanted to do something completely different. And we kept dreaming, and we kept dreaming, and we kept dreaming. And when a lot of the things came together, Peter Hirsch, the phone call that I got sitting on the plane headed back from Korea to Houston, Texas, connecting with David. I made a phone call to T. Gray, and I said, hey, bro, I need you. He says, what is it? I say, we got it. And immediately he resigned from a company where he was the managing director, stock options, a position that was a very, very, very high responsibility, high title, didn't question it, didn't say, well, let me think about it, it was yes. And I'm sitting on a plane, and I'm thinking about how we're going to put this together, and I'm looking for the pieces that were missing, and I said, there's another component that we need. I said, T. Gray, I know what your specialty is, and I know you're good at everything. He's our VP of everything, right? But we said we need some other specialists as well, and I'm sitting on the plane, and I don't know if T. Gray was with me on the plane, but I know I sent it. We were together on the plane, and I said, Mark Cathcart. I said, I don't know what he's doing. I said, but I was just recently in Northern California, and I had a chance to meet with him, and we sat down and talked, and I talked about something completely different than starting a company. I said, I'm going to text him. I'm going to call him. He's got to be with us. I called him, texted him. Anna booked him a flight. Next thing you know, he's there. He gets there at 11 o'clock that night, and he didn't sleep for 24 hours putting things together day one. Without a job offer, had no idea what his salary was going to be. And neither one of them still don't know what their salary is going to be. We just break them off a little bit every now and then and say, hey, just here you go. They say, don't worry, no worries, right? And Mark was with one of them, with a company that he had just taken public, or didn't take it public, but he was with the company who was acquired, went public, and stock options, and he called. And I couldn't believe that Debbie Cathcart would move from that was a big order. To move from Northern California, no humidity. You're living in wine country. The weather's always nice, cool, and perfect. And I'm like, how do I sell her? Now, Debbie was a hairdresser, and I'm like, how do I sell her on coming to Houston with the humidity where when you get off the plane, your hair melts? How do I sell this? And I never forget her and McKenna sitting at my house. They're like, it's not that bad. I don't know why. I'm like, no, it's not. It's really, I'm like, look at my hair. It doesn't melt, right? And they did it. They did it. They made the commitment. I'll talk about our diamonds a little bit later, but there's some friends that were, and all of the diamonds were friends. But there's some family who's been through some things with us over a long period of time. They're not just diamonds. They're not just blue diamonds. They're not just black diamonds or whatever it may be. But Sam and Kim Bean, I don't know where they are. They're somewhere out here. When we shifted, we always learned that every success should have a successor. I shifted into a position of CEO of a company, and I never thought that this is where I wanted to be. I always thought like a CEO, but the title didn't mean anything to me. And I shifted out of a position, and next thing you know, Ed jumped into my position. But somebody who had been there long, you're talking about loyal. If you're talking about somebody, you can't say a bad word about me, my family. You say a bad word around Sam Bean or Kim Bean, you either get your eyes scratched out or you get your nose and your lip busted. And I shifted over, and then Sam Bean moved into the position where I was before. Where Ed was before. Actually, even higher. And it's all about the trust. It's all about what we stood for a long time ago. Emmanuel Bernstein. He's somewhere around here, Super E. We're talking years, and I've always told Emmanuel he knew he was somebody that I always looked up to when I heard about him in network marketing, when I was coming up in network marketing, and because I always just saw this guy that was always sharp, always well put together, and I admired him. I still admire him to this day. Grateful and proud to have him as a part of the team. Jose Luis and Mel Ann, I don't know where they are. These are people who stood in the gap when it wasn't easy to stand in the gap. These are people who stood in the gap and went against what was popular, who made major sacrifices, gave up their entire income. I didn't ask them to. Cesar Munoz, somewhere around here. I don't know. There he is. I'm talking here. This is what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about my diamonds right now. But I have to acknowledge how this happens. It doesn't happen because one person is so good or so great. But Cesar Munoz, he's just been one of those who stood and went against what was really popular. Didn't care about the income that he had before. And here's the thing, I never called them and told them, hey, come join iBoomerang. Never did. As a matter of fact, he was trying to call me, and I wouldn't answer the phone. Another one, Daniel in Toledo. Camaro, they're somewhere around here. There they go. I told y'all Puerto Rico shows up everywhere. Right? I told you that. But these are people that you sit down with, and we don't talk business. We just talk. These are people that we come from different backgrounds, but when we get together, it's all the same. There's many, many, many more. My good friend Clay Fishman, who's over there. Clay, you guys look at me now like, man, HB, you're really good. Clay is responsible for putting me and making me do my very first conference call. Yes. And I thought I was horrible. I was like, I got to do the speaking. He's like, yeah. And I grew, and I've always admired him, and we always stayed in contact, and Clay is a part of the board. You'll see him a little later, but he's a part of our board member of the Boom Foundation. Another one who will be here shortly is a good friend of mine, Pastor Keon Henderson. He's on his way here. He's probably watching live stream as he come here, but he'll be here shortly. I've got a good friend who's watching by live stream right now, and someone who's always encouraged me. And this allows you to understand the difference between friendships and commisionships. Friendships are what I'm talking about now, that communication, that no matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter. That's a friendship. Commissionship is when you decide to do something different, they're no longer your friend. When you're not making money for them, now you're the opposition, and that's never been the case. He's the number one or number two earner in another travel company. One of my best friends in the world, Johnny Wimbrey, he's somewhere around here watching on live stream. He and his wife, Crystal Wimbrey, but he encouraged, go do it. People will call him and say, dude, how is it that you say your best friend started a travel company? Why would he do that to you? And his response is, why wouldn't he? That's friendship. That's friendship. Amy and Steve Seaver, I see them out there, and it's been the same. I've been their biggest cheerleader, and they've been my biggest cheerleader, and we went completely separate paths. And I can continue naming names, and if I don't call your name, it doesn't mean that we're not close or not a friend, but this is just friendships that have lasted for years, over 10 years, decades, or not decades, but over a decade. I'm not that old, okay? But most of all, I want everybody who's here to know that there's room for you right here at these tables. And what I want most importantly, what I look for most importantly is to be able to call you and talk about you and how much of a friend you are to me or I am to you because of what we're doing right here. That's how it all happened. It didn't happen because of the money. I've seen them make money, and I see many of them who don't need the money. Money's come, the money's gone, but the friendship stayed strong. That's a friendship. Okay? But I can tell you right now, every single diamond that's here, that's the thing that I want the most, is to be able to build that friendship, build that camaraderie, build that relationship. I don't care about the business more than I care about the friendship. That's why Edwin Haynes and myself have been able to be here, because we care more about each other than we care about business.